Welcome to another Unpack with Me video. I just got back from Portugal and I have not opened this suitcase since I drove home from Raleigh. And you guys know the drill. We're going to go over everything I packed and we're going to talk about the winners, the losers, and the possible regrets. Let's go. Hey y'all, and welcome back. If you're new here, I am Christy, the Gen X Gypsy, and I love to share all the things that I learn along the way over the past 40 years that I've been traveling around this world. And today is one of my favorite types of videos. We're going to go over everything that I packed for this recent trip to Portugal, and we're going to talk about the things that I really loved, the things that I probably didn't need to bring with me, and the things that I regret not packing to bring with me. But I have to admit, y'all, today I actually feel like I did a pretty damn good job of packing this time, and I'm not sure we're gonna have a whole lot of regrets. So let's open up the suitcase. Before I open up the suitcase, I am going to tell you it is going to look like a mess because I opened it in Raleigh in order to get some of the souvenirs out that we had kind of put in different people's suitcases. So I needed to pull some souvenirs out for my mom and my sister. So I didn't exactly like put everything back into their packing cubes. I just kind of shoved it into the suitcase and zipped it back up. So I don't even know what it's going to look like when we open it up, but I have a feeling it's going to be a big old mess. So no judgment, you guys, no judgment. The reason I have this scarf on top is because I wore this scarf on the plane. This was part of my travel day outfit, both going and coming. And then I wore it a ton while we were traveling too. It is a gorgeous kind of boho scarf that I got at from Amazon just like a few days before I left for the trip. And this was definitely a winner. Love the scarf. Feel like I am going to wear this a ton, and it's probably going to become a very favorite travel scarf. Okay, now let's open up the suitcase. And yes, this is just a carry-on size bag. This is the expandable carry-on 21-inch bag from Quince, and I love this thing. I checked it. I didn't carry it through the airport. I didn't travel carry-on only, but I packed carry-on only. So that is another thing to keep in mind when you are looking at what I packed this time. Obviously, you see coming back, I did have to use the expansion. Going over, I did not need the expansion, but I did buy a few kind of bulky things. So let's get in here. One of the things that you can probably hear from my voice that I brought back with me that I would have liked to have left in Portugal is a little bit of a cold. So if I sound funnier than usual, that is the case. I still have a little bit of congestion. I feel great. I don't feel bad at all, but I might cough a little bit and I do have just a little bit of congestion hanging out in there. Okay, let's start over here on this side of the suitcase, which I think is going to be the messiest one. The first thing that I am going to pull out, not my nightgown and underwear, although those did get worn quite a bit and they were great. So we're just gonna put those in a pile over there because they need to get washed. These shoes, you guys, I know I have talked about these a lot, and they were the winners of my sandal review, not this year, but the last year. So I can't even tell you how great these shoes were. These are the Placa sandals. And if you've been here a while, you know that I have talked about these quite a bit. I did not have this black pair before I left. I have like two other pairs, but I wanted to get a black pair to take with me. And these arrived like 2 days before I left for my trip. So no breaking them in. I know I broke my own rule. Yeah, you should always break your shoes in before you travel, especially when you're going to be going up and down hills and walking on cobblestones. But because I already had two other pairs of these, I knew that they didn't really need a breaking in period. I could have only taken these shoes. Like, these are the only shoes I really needed. If I didn't want to wear closed-toed shoes on the airplane, I could have worn these shoes the entire trip and been totally fine. In fact, the last day I was in Lisbon, I walked close to 7 or 8 miles up and down the hills of Lisbon over the cobblestones in these shoes, and my feet felt great. So placas for the win. I mean, a lot of you out there have gotten them and love them. And I just have to say again, what a great travel shoe they are. I will have links to everything that I can find links to as I unpack. So if you're curious about any particular item that I talk about, I will try as hard as I can to have it down in the description and the first pinned comment. Okay, this is my laptop case, which I had to put in my suitcase because it doesn't fit in my personal item bag. It's too bulky to have in there on the plane, but I liked having it with me so when I was on the bus, I could have my computer in here in a tote bag instead of having it in the backpack. So that is not really anything. I mean, I'm glad I had it with me and it worked great, but not really something that we need to talk about. This is what I carry my vitamins in. So these are just my daily vitamins and HRT, and I have some like little gummy green chewy things that I took with me too. I am kind of surprised that I thought I was actually doing pretty well at taking these, but I'm surprised to have a couple of packets left. I also took my collagen with me, these little travel packets of collagen, and I had one of those every morning to try to keep, I don't like to not be taking my collagen because I can really tell a difference in my nails and my hair when I stop taking collagen altogether, but it can be a lot to carry all of those packets of collagen with you when you travel. But I was glad to have these. Obviously my HRT for sure. Next, Angie Hot and Flashy's travel brush case. Y'all, this thing is just awesome. I use the brushes, the makeup brushes every day. If you've seen the toiletry video that I did a couple of months ago, you know I put like my makeup stuff in here so that it's all in one container. And then this sits on the counter just like this, which is perfect. I didn't really use my eye makeup, and that's pretty much the only thing in here that I didn't use is that anything that went along with the eye makeup. Otherwise, I used my mascara, I used my powder, my blush, my concealer, and I used it all. It's makeup, right? I wanted to look nice. And then the other bag that I brought for toiletries is just the one bag from the Trip Travel Toiletry Kit, which is their TSA bag, but I love to use this just to put pretty much everything else in. So this has my comb, my deodorant. I'm not really going to go through everything that's in here. I did bring the Downy spray and I used that a couple of times and it worked great. I had my linen blend dress. We'll get into some of the clothes, but this worked really well to spray down those items when they got wrinkled and just let them hang out. I brought my little shampoo, my conditioner. I use the shampoo that's in the hotel rooms that's supplied by them, but I did bring my own conditioner to use. I did use the little lip gloss tubes, and these did not leak at all. This is great. I use this for my cleanser, and I loved having this little thing. In fact, I will probably decant to more of these in the future. Overall, I mean, there's some lipsticks in here, some moisturizer. I took the little melt away face cleanser things that you guys suggested from Oil of Olay, and I used those. Yeah, just not just some basic toiletries, some eye drops, nail file, Tide stick, just some random necessary stuff. Nothing in there that I regret bringing and nothing that I didn't bring that I thought I needed in there. I think I did really well unpacking my toiletries because I never felt like I needed anything. I did not bring shaving cream this time, and I did end up using shampoo or shower gel one time. Actually twice. I ended up using shower gel and shampoo to shave my legs, and that worked fine. They had lotion, and the lotion was good. I was surprisingly happy not to have an alert. I did test it on myself before I put it all over my legs, but I did not have any allergic reactions to any of the lotions that were provided, and they smelled really good. Okay, what else do we have in here? I did take my luggage scale. I knew my suitcase was probably not going to get up close to 50 pounds, but I wasn't sure. Both my mom and my sister took larger suitcases, so I wanted to make sure we had the luggage scale for when we packed to come back that we weren't overweight. But we all did great. None of us, I don't even think, hit 40 pounds. So I think we did really, really well. I am going to change position because, that's starting to hurt my feet. Okay. I brought a tote bag, this is my tote bag, which has a zipper on top. I thought I might need this for bringing an extra bag of souvenirs back since I was packing in just carry-on only, and I ended up not needing to do that. But what I did is I use this as my bag for when we did the tour, when we were with the tour group for 10 days of the trip. This was my bus bag. So I use this. Actually, I ended up pretty much carrying this around all the time because I needed to carry my camera equipment with me, the portable chargers. I had my purse in there with all of my regular purse stuff. So I ended up just carrying a tote bag with me as my purse for the day, and it worked great. I loved having it. I did, sadly, nobody stopped me on the street to ask me about this, but you know, maybe in the future. Another toiletry item that I did bring with me is my little bamboo washcloth. It is so dirty. It's kind of gross in here. I had one of the plastic bags left over from the vitamins that I put it in to pack it to bring home, but I was so happy I had a makeup washcloth while I was there. I will say it for European hotels, the places we stayed at, all of them actually did have washcloths for the most part. We got washcloths, we got hand towels and regular towels, which is a little more than I have found in a lot of European places, but it's still nice to have a makeup washcloth so I don't feel like I'm getting their white washcloths all filthy with my makeup. So that needs to go in the wash pile there. Okay, what do we have in here? This is my packable rain jacket. Luckily, I didn't even need to get this out at any point during the trip. We had one time that we had a tiny little rain shower first thing in the morning that I got sprinkled on. Well, it rained a little bit harder than just a sprinkle, but it was just a tiny little rain shower when I was walking from my room to the place where we were having breakfast in that resort. Otherwise, I really didn't need to have it, but I was glad to have it because if it had rained, I would want this with me. So I'm glad I packed it. And then what else do I have in here? I have my little booty shorts that I packed in case I wanted to wear these under my dresses or to actually work out. I never had any time to work out. I think the only yoga I got done is I tried to do a yoga pose at the sunset in Porto. And that is about the only exercise other than obviously walking tons every day that I did. So these did not get worn. Do I regret bringing them? No, because I might have used them. This is something that I'm okay that I packed and didn't use. There were a couple of places that had workout gyms or whatever that I could have gone and used it if I'd had the time. But also it was nice to have if I had felt it was windy and I wanted to wear these under a dress. And then these are just my extra glasses. Ta-da! Extra reading glasses. I put 2 pair in here, which I've been looking for. So I'm glad to finally unpack them so I have them to use. And then, let's see. In this clothing bag, I did use the Trip Travel kind of see-through compression packing cubes. These are ones I think I got from Daily Drop as a prize. You know how I love me some compression packing cubes, and they are the best. Okay, this shirt was awesome. This is a kind of a linen gauzy blend shirt from Carve, and it can be long sleeve or 3/4 sleeve. I really liked using this as like a secondary like kind of jacket shirt. I also used it as a swimsuit cover up at one of the resorts that I stayed back and did some work, and I ate lunch by the pool, so I threw this on over my bathing suit. Great piece of clothing. These 2 shirts I actually purchased in Portugal, in Porto, like the second or third day that we were there, just because I liked them. I didn't really feel like I needed more clothes, but they are really nice and lightweight, and it was fun to have them. I actually only wore this one day. This top I ended up wearing like 2 or 3 days, I think, of the trip. Love, love, love this top. I will look and see if I can find their website, but I think that they're not available outside of Portugal. But it was a chain store there in Portugal. So I'll see if I can find that link for you. Very, very cool boho kind of clothes, my style. And then one of the dresses, I took 3 dresses. And this was one of the dresses. I did end up wearing this a couple of times. And it was nice to kind of have a colorful, flowy dress. If you watched my spring travel dress or summer travel dress review, you know this was one of my favorites, and I have worn it quite a bit. So this was lovely to have. It does have pockets, and it was a perfect weight to have in Portugal. And let's see. Oh, this is my, oh, it's going to be so wrinkled. This is my linen camp shirt from Quince, and I wore this a lot. I wore it either by itself as a shirt, and I also wore it as like a cover up, like a, not a cover up, but a little jacket layering piece over another tank top that I brought. I wore this quite a bit. I'm glad to have all of the linen stuff that I brought. I was super happy to have. I did bring a couple of adapters because you absolutely need these in Europe. So I used this quite a bit. Used it to charge up everything. It was perfect. Love the Epica adapters. If you've been here a while, you know that we team up quite often. I don't team up with them just because they're a sponsor. I do team up with them because I do think their products are fantastic. So happy to have that one with me. Let's see, I have some paperwork. Oh, these are souvenirs, and this is a gift for somebody, so I'm not going to show it to you. Another adapter, some more of my supplements, my collagen and stuff. Oh, these are important. I brought like 5 pairs of these. These are my anti-nausea bracelets because I never know when I'm riding in a bus how curvy the roads are going to be, how narrow, how bouncy, all the things that can maybe make me car sick. So I brought 5 sets of these. I probably didn't need to bring 5 sets of them. 3 would have been fine, but I didn't know if my sister was going to need them. My mom has her own, but these were definitely something I was glad to have. The roads in Portugal are really, really good. Like they didn't feel as curvy or narrow as the roads in Ireland were last year, or definitely as crazy as the roads are in Puerto Rico or some other places that I travel. But it still was nice to have these because when you're on a bus, I don't know, when you're somebody who's prone to getting motion sickness, being on a bus, you just never know what might happen. So I was glad to have these with me. Okay. Oh, this I used every day, my Pack Safe purse. Sometimes I would have it inside the tote bag, but I definitely used my Pack Safe purse both as a clutch for a couple of nights out as for dinner, and then I used the strap and used it as a crossbody bag the entire time that I was there. It was the only purse that I brought, but it was the perfect purse to have for this entire trip. Fit flops. These were the other sandal that I took, and again, I wore these quite often. I mean, I wore the placas a lot, but I also wore these, and they were super comfy, and they have pretty good grip on the bottom. So walking across all of those cobblestones that can feel like they might get a little slick, these did really, really well. I think the placas actually have they have like a rigid kind of texture to the bottom of them, and those were a little grippier, I think, than these were. Also, I think because they're so flat that you can kind of force your foot to kind of grip around the cobblestones, and these you're more sort of floating on top of the cobblestones. They both did really well on the cobblestones. Neither one of them were too slick, and very comfy. Didn't have any problems with my feet in either one of those sandals. So very, very happy with the shoe selections that I took. And oh, sunglasses. I took 2 pair of sunglasses and I wore both of them quite often. These are the ones that I got from Quince. They're super cute. Unfortunately, I think they are out of stock right now, but I will check and see if they're available. I will put the link down below. They're kind of a green color. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it was fun. They were just a nice little something to add a different look to some of the more plain outfits that I took with me, but these were great. And then my favorite blender sunglasses that I took with me were really great too. And it was fun to have 2 different pairs of sunglasses to switch around with. Okay, these are my dirty clothes, and I'm not sure I really want to go through all the dirty clothes with you instead of just showing you kind of outfits that I wore each day. Well, let me think about that while I pull out one last thing. I did bring this little mini light to use, and I used it like twice, but this time the hotels that we stayed in all had pretty good outlets and lights beside the bed. We were staying in pretty high-end places. They were all like 4-star places, other than the place in Porto, which I think should have been a 4-star. The place that I picked out in Porto for us to stay was great. And I think it's like a 3 or 4-star. It's, you know, it's on the less expensive side. It was only like 110 euros a night or something like that for a family room. And that was the only one that was a little more limited on like outlets and lights by the bed. But it was a great room and the location was ideal. So that was one of the only places I really used this. Otherwise, I didn't really need it, but I don't regret bringing it either. Okay, let's look inside the dirty clothes bag and see what I want to share with you. I will tell you, my underwear that I've talked about for a couple of years now, love those underwear. They are so easy to clean and hang up and dry overnight. Fantastic. Okay, this first thing I'm going to pull out is a bra. So just FYI, if you want to hide your eyes, if you don't want to look at it. But this is a bra that many of you guys had suggested that I try out. It's the Under outfit. And this is, I think, their newer version that's supposed to be kind of like a sports bra, you know, soft. I have to say, I didn't love it. I didn't like the way it fit me. It's got a lot of material, and with as hot as it was in Portugal, I didn't really want to have all this material under my arm. Like, I understand the idea behind it is to kind of hold in everything that's back here, but I also felt like I could not get the straps to be the right length for. It just felt like the bra was kind of pulling up over my boobs and wasn't supporting my boobs, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm going to probably do another review on these later because I got a second bra from Under Outfit too that I have not had a chance to wear around. But so far, it's not my favorite. But I'm going to reserve judgment for that and wear it around here at home some and see if I like it better. Let's see what I have in here that's not underwear. Oh, yes. So my little short sleeve black Old Navy shirt. I wore this quite a bit. Super cute. We're just going to dump it out. Okay. Socks, underwear, pajamas. I had one pair of like these like shorty pajamas like this. And then I had the nightgown that I pulled out before. It was unusually warm in Portugal while we were there. It's funny because last year when we were in Ireland, it was unusually cool. And there were a few things that I didn't have with me that I wish I had had because of the cooler weather. This time it was unusually hot. We had like 3 days that were over 100 degrees. And we were in interior Portugal where it is hotter. We weren't close to the ocean. And those nights I pretty much slept in the nightgown. We also had AC in our room, so we had it turned down fairly low. These pajamas were super comfy, and I'm glad I took the 2 different sets of things to sleep in because when we got to Lisbon, it was a little cooler. So these were a perfect weight for when we were in Lisbon. I think that's everything. I did do laundry while I was there. We sent laundry out about halfway through the trip. So we had some laundry we sent to have the laundry done when we were in one of the hotels. And then I also did some sink laundry to do some pants and shorts and another top that I wanted to wear over again. So I did do laundry halfway between. So that helps, as you know, with all of my capsule wardrobe videos, that helps extend the clothing that you bring with you so you don't have to pack as much. Okay. Moving on to the other side of the suitcase. One of the things that I put in all of our bags were the Apple AirTags, and I was glad to have them. We didn't have any issues. Our luggage all arrived everywhere it needed to be, but it's just a nice peace of mind to have that you can check your location of where these are so you can be like, did the suitcase actually get on the plane? Yes, it did. Woohoo! And then in here, I have just my jewelry that I took. So there's some earrings, some other rings. I don't think I took any necklaces. I did not. But I got this super cute pair of earrings within the first couple of days that I was in Porto too, they're handmade ceramic earrings. Aren't they super cute? I love them. They're kind of funky like me. In this little tube bag, I have some of the foldable hangers, which I was very glad to have. I was sharing a room with my sister throughout the whole trip. And, you know, the hotel usually gives you like 5 or if you're really lucky, 6 hangers. And we were both we were in our places for long enough that we would unpack and hang our stuff up so the wrinkles would get out of them and then repack, you know, the third day that we're there. So having the extra coat hangers for this trip was perfect. In fact, I probably could have used a couple of more. And then I have my razor in here and my dual voltage curling wand that I take pretty much everywhere now. And yes, I use this quite a bit. I was very glad to have my curling wand with me. The air there was actually not as humid as it is here at home. So my hair did fairly well. Like it didn't get super frizzy, which was really, really nice because I was expecting it to be very humid like it is here at home and that my hair was going to be like, whew, one big frizz ball, but it was not. So having the curling wand, it's always nice to have. Okay, what I think all we've got left are all we've got left are 2 more things of clothing, and then the rest in there are souvenirs. So one of the pairs of pants that I took is this pair that I found at TJ Maxx. I will try my hardest to see if I can find a pair that I can link to, but these were fantastic. They're like a cotton poplin, they're not a linen, and they were incredibly comfortable. The perfect lightweight material to wear when you're walking around touring in those hot temperatures. And they have a pattern, which is really nice because so much of the rest of my wardrobe was very basic. I took this little skirt by Athleta, and I wore this quite a few days. This was a really nice weight. I love that I have the shorts with the pockets. Whoops, where are the shorts? So the shorts with the pockets here. So I would keep like my room key inside one of these pockets because then it wouldn't get lost down in one of my bags and have to search for it every time I got back to the hotel. Plus it has the nice deep pockets here that you can use for your phone and such. And another bra, not to get too much into the weeds of bras, but I did take like a little bralette, and I know I'm a little smaller, so I can get away with a bralette, and that's not an option for a lot of you, but I liked having this bralette, especially under that tank top that I ended up buying in Portugal. That was really nice to have. Then I had my other joist spun bra that is a convertible, so I can make it into a racer back as well. Those are the 2 bras I actually ended up wearing most of the time. Plus I had 2 shirts that I either didn't need to wear a bra with or had a built-in bra. So it was nice to not have to take as many bras with me for this trip, and I think I did well. Speaking of shirts that you don't need to wear a bra with, this double layered tank top is one I wore quite often, and I did not wear a bra with it. Love these things. These are just so nice to have for travel. It was a really good weight. You can wash them in the sink and they dry really like overnight. They'll be dry. Great addition to a capsule wardrobe. Okay, my foot is falling asleep. Oh, let my foot wake up. I have a souvenir in here that I packed inside the clothing to keep it safe. Some more pottery from Portugal. This cute little striped dress, another one that was in my dress review in the spring. Wore this a couple of days, just really fun, cute little dress, nice and lightweight. Loved it. My linen dress. If I were going to say that there was something I could have left at home, it would probably be this linen dress. I think I only ended up wearing it once, and I really could have worn one of my other outfits and not needed this. So of the things that I probably did not need to pack, I will say it would have been this third dress. And oh, the linen shorts that match that linen top that I showed earlier from Quince, wore these all the time. Like these were a definite winner of the trip. I wore these linen shorts probably 50% of the time, if, well, probably not more than 50%, but at least 50% of the time. They were super comfortable, the perfect length, looked good with all the tops that I brought with me, and just very appropriate. Dressy enough for walking around the cities, but also very comfortable and cool, which was important as it got hotter. And our last bag of clothing. Let's see. This cute little shrug sweater I wore actually quite a bit. It was really cute over both the striped dress and with like the skirt with the tank top. Like they had a lot of options that I wore this, and I was very glad to have this in the evenings when it got a little cooler or just wanted something over my arms. This was perfect to have. This is another item I actually bought in Portugal. It's a new scarf. Very, very pretty. I'm so excited to wear that. Bathing suit. Very happy I brought this with me because I did end up using it. We got into the pool one day. I would have liked to have used it more, but I did get into the pool one day, and I also wore it for most of the day that I was having my laundry cleaned because I was down to one pair of underwear. So it was nice to have the bathing suit to put on and have to wear, and I didn't have to worry about it. So the next two items, well, these are underwear, so I don't need to look at those. So these two shirts, probably because I bought the two shirts that I did when I was in Portugal, I ended up not wearing these as much as I probably would have had I not bought those other two shirts. This is my merino wool tank top, and I did wear this a few days. Again, lightweight, really comfy, loved having that. This shirt, I never ended up wearing the entire time we were there, I don't think. If I did, it was like the first day or two. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I did not wear that. And this shirt is the same as the shirt that I'm wearing. Whoops, I did not mean to beat on my microphone. This shirt is the same shirt that I have on here. I bought 3 of these because I love the way they fit. They're really comfortable. They're lightweight. And it would have been a great shirt throughout the trip. I just didn't end up wearing it. I don't regret taking it because I didn't know I was going to buy 2 shirts when I got to Portugal. This is something that I'm glad I packed. I would not pack it again. Like I would still pack this because I didn't know I was going to buy more. And that is everything other than souvenirs that I brought. So we're not going to go over those because, well, I'll show you this one because this is mine. This is a purse made from cork. I don't know if you know this or not, and this is something I learned in Portugal, is that Portugal is the #1 producer of cork. And we got to see the cork trees, learn about the whole process. It was fascinating. And I will be talking about that in one of my travel vlogs. But they had some beautiful items made of cork. And this was one that I wanted to get for myself. So it is like a little tote bag kind of purse like this. And it also has a strap so you can make it a crossbody purse. And this folds over like that, and you put the strap on and you can wear it, you know, kind of folded over. Love this purse. I actually used this my last day in Lisbon when I was walking around. I used this as my purse. And then the other person here is a gift that I'm not going to share with you today. And if you want to know how I packed my personal item bag for the plane this time, you'll want to check out this video next. Thank you so much for joining me for another Unpack with Me video. I really appreciate that you chose to watch this video today and share a little bit of time with me. I hope you have safe and wonderful travels.